What up, what up, what up? It's your man, Raphael Haynes, a.k.a. Mr. Controversy. Did you miss me? And, of course, I have a special guest. As you see, the man right here, one of the greatest of all time, Mr. Marshall Faulk. What's going on today, sir?
Nothing, man. Just enjoying my quarantine.
I know, right? Have you been binging, TV binging and everything? Or any show?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I don't watch a lot of television, but I've gotten into some different shows. Watched a bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Introduced my kids to some things, man, and it's been fun. It's been good.
What's up? Yeah. And I know that you've been into the drug world free campaign, or drug free world, campaign.
Yeah.
You've been heavy on that. And I definitely wanted to ask you about, because you see a lot of players, especially right now at this time, there's no football, nothing going on. You've seen some players get in trouble so far. How did you stay away from that, and why is it so important to you?
Well, for me, I mean, I grew up around it. First of all, I'm from New Orleans, grew up in the Ninth Ward, and it played a huge role in my life in the sense that I watched a lot of people, just guys that were super talented, that drugs got a hold of them, or they started selling drugs, and I just understood that that life, if you want to live a positive life, then that life is not for you. And as I continued to grow older, I really saw how things how they work, man, and how it is. And so not being a part of it and not having it a part of my life was something that I've always done. And then when I got introduced to the truth about drugs and a drug-free world, I just wanted to be a part of it because, it's not that I hate on people that decide to do what they do or partake in it. This is more of an educational thing. It's like, hey, just be educated in what you're doing. And I think that's on everything, whatever it is. Educate yourself on what you're partaking in so you understand the ramifications later in life.
Right.
And a lot of times we just don't do that. As human beings, we get involved, somebody get us hooked, or they get us involved in something, and before you know it, we're an addict and we don't know why.
Right. Yeah, man, I've been seeing you doing a lot. So big ups to you with that, man. And how can this program help other people when it comes to this?
Well, just listen, we educate. You go to drugfreeworld.org. We provide free information. And here's the reality. Just say no to drugs ain't working.
Right.
that campaign is just not working. To just say no, because a lot of people they're making drugs cool,
mm-hmm.
and they're making it to where it's like acceptable. So that's not working for us. We need to educate people. They need to understand what they're doing. And let's say this: in school, it needs to be something that they need to be educated on. Let's talk about at home. At home, the parent whom may have never been exposed to drugs, they need to be educated on what to watch out for with their kid who may have been exposed to it, may be going through it, and they don't even know.
Right.
We provide that education for the parent so they can help their kids. So on a whole nother level, that's all we're doing is just educating the masses, providing the information, the statistics, so people understand what's going on. It's not about, hating on whether it's, street drugs or pharmaceutical drugs. It's the same thing.
Right.
We just want people to know what's out there, what's going on.
That's what's up, man. Now, got to talk about your first college game, man, which is crazy. I don't know if a lot of people know about this. 37 carries, 386 yards, 7 touchdowns. And this was because T.C. Wright, the running back, got hurt. I know you have confidence. We know that. But was this the game that you realized, okay, this is for me?
I wouldn't say that it was like, this is for me. just in playing sports, it's like you have confidence, but then there's always those moments that you're like, okay, I can do this.
Right.
So I knew I could play on the collegiate level, but that was like confirmation. Okay, I can do this, and that's all you're looking for. And you just want, I just wanted to go out and have fun and play, and try to win as many games as possible.
Now, and that was crazy because it was your first game. Now, I want to know, was TC after it was over? How was the team response, and especially like TC Wright? I mean, he had to be like, "Shoot, bro, you got to start now."
Yeah, I don't know how TC felt.
Uh-huh.
I know for me, it was just, it was one of those moments in time that'll never escape me. I was in a place where, you just, as I'm thinking about it right now, I can remember sitting on the bench, watching the video of like them replaying the play, and listening to a crowd of 60,000 people chant Marshall, Marshall. I'm like, wow.
Right.
For a kid from the projects, man, this is not,
Right.
I played in front of like 500 people.
Right, right.
They have 60,000 people in the stadium. That's impressive.
Right. And then you put San Diego Aztecs on the map. I remember watching San Diego State, and it's like, man, this dude is cold. And then, of course, the 1992 Heisman Trophy race, man. Like, I know you won't say it. I'll say it. That's why they call me this controversy. I mean, Gino Torretta, come on, bro. Like, no way you should have won the Heisman Trophy. Did that put any type of chip on your shoulder?
I wouldn't say chip on my shoulder. It just, at that point in time, I wasn't, I was young. I was immature. I didn't really know that the Heisman Trophy didn't go to the best college player. I didn't really know that. But if over history, if you look at the trophy, I mean, it rarely goes to the best player. It's the best player at the biggest school on the best team. That's what they advocate for. And if you look at the guys who usually win it, that's usually the case. If it was to the best player, it would be just the best player. It's not like when you win MVP of the league, you're the best player on the best team. Like, that makes sense usually. But in college, everybody don't play everybody. So why are you looking at the best team? Why are you looking at the team that's ranked number 1 or number 5? It's the person putting up the best numbers, the best stats. We all won't play everybody. So whatever, what it did was, everything happens for a reason. It just kept me hungry, kept me motivated. And I like the fact that, I stayed hungry. I stayed hungry for it.
All right. And I'm from Chicago, and I'm a big running back fan, right? And of course, you had Walter Payton, but the running back that really made me say, I never played professional, high school, whatever, but I always wanted to play, made me fall in love with the running back position, was Roger Craig. Just because he can catch out the backfield, run, do everything. Who was that person for you that made you fall in love with that position or like the position?
Well, so because I was just a student of the game. I watched everybody.
Mm-hmm.
There was just things that when I watched people do it, I picked up little tricks of the trade and things that they did. But when you look at the whole running back in a sense of catching the ball and stuff like that, Roger Craig was, he was elite at it, but I mean, people don't remember how instrumental Thurman Thomas was to the Buffalo Bills. Right. And guys like Ronnie Harmon, James Brooks, guys like that, I mean, that's all they did was caught the ball. That was like Larry Centers as a fullback.
What?
So many guys that played the position, and they played the position well. Everybody saw Franco Harris, but Rocky Bleier, he caught the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So the position they just didn't. A lot of teams didn't take advantage of what running backs could do. So I'm just happy that I played with some coaches who really looked at what I did, and I played at a point in time to where they wanted to do the matchups. It's like, let's find a mismatch and let's exploit it.
Right. Did you have any favorites as far as running backs though?
Not really. Not really. I liked, and I still, when I watch the game, I like everybody, man. The position is unique because there's no one way to get the job done. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can be a bruiser, you can be a slasher, you could be a scat back, you can be full-time, full service, third down. There's so many ways to get it done.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I was a big fan. I'm a big fan of running back, just catching, doing it all,
Yeah.
And, of course, in your career, Rookie of the Year, you MVP, Pro Bowl MVP, Hall of Fame, 3-time Offensive Player of the Year. What is your greatest accomplishment in the NFL? What was that as far as your career?
Oh, man, getting there. Getting drafted. Well, what I had to do, the sacrifices I had to make, getting there. That's literally the accomplishment. Very few people came from where I come from and do what I did. I think about it, and I didn't even know until the time. All the great athletes that are from New Orleans, I was the first Pro Football Hall of Famer from New Orleans.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that definitely had to be something like, did you have a mama I made it moment besides playing your first game?
Oh yeah. Man, listen, when you're handed a check and there's a lot of zeros on it, and you're used to a check with like 1 or 2 zeros on it, it's a life altering moment. Mm-hmm. And you realize that your life changed and that you get to change the dynamic of your family's life. Man, that's it's beyond mama I made it. It's like, wow.
Right. Especially coming from the 9th Ward, and
right.
everything, man. So yeah, I can understand that. Now, any particular play that stands out? Because you had one for me is Cleveland run. That was probably the hardest one. Any other plays that stood out for you?
My first touchdown, it was against the Houston Oilers. It's, just like I said, you always look for those moments of confirmation. I don't care how confident you are. I don't care how good you are. We always need to confirm what we know. Right. You always need that confirmation. And, I'm just glad that mine happened in my first game. That first game was like everything for me. I scored 3 touchdowns in that game. We won. I was like, okay, I can play at this level too. And that's what you want to know, that you can play. And then you start to take your talents and see how good you can be and how much you can do.
And then you played, of course, with Peyton Manning his first year. And he broke a record with 27 touchdowns, but I think he had 27 interceptions. But did you still notice the greatness in him? Did you see that back then?
Oh yeah. It was easy. It was so easy, man. It was so easy. That dude, man, and everything that he does, it's just everything that he does it at a high level. He came in with the standard of excellence. Like you knew it. And I don't care how bad he played or what he did. You can look in people's eyes and see if they're defeated or if they're trying to figure it out. Mm-hmm. And he was trying to solve the puzzle. The problem wasn't too big. And I knew it. I was like, this dude gonna be bad, man. This dude gonna be bad.
And he used to always talk about, or you always talk about how you were the smartest player he ever played with. And he's talked about even watching your Road to Kent when you got in, and I saw the clip where he was talking about he was in the huddle, and it'd be sometimes where he didn't know, and you was telling him, "This is what it is. This is where you're supposed to go."
That's what you do for young guys, man. You do that. You
Mm-hmm.
know, he and I, it was just good. He confirmed for me that I wasn't crazy because my love for football and how I studied and what I did, like I thought I thought something was wrong with me. that that I didn't have much going on other than football. And he confirmed that it was okay to be that way. I was like, okay, I'm not crazy.
That's what's up. So now, play that 1 year. Of course, you get traded to St. Louis. You had the situation where Green got hurt, right? And so everybody's, of course, nervous. What's going to happen to the season? When did you know that Kurt Warner was that dude?
Oh man, actually, and this is crazy because so Kurt was pretty much Mike Martz's whipping boy in a sense because Mike never coached the starter. He coached the backup, and that was through the starter.
Mm.
And so when he did that, we all thought, like, man, Kurt's always in trouble as the backup. Like, wow, Mike's always getting at him. That's crazy. There's always an issue. And so when he got the job, you know, when he like, I'm talking first game against Detroit. We went into Detroit in the preseason, and Trent went down, uncertainty. We got one preseason game, and we're going to play like 2 series. And you know, Coach Vermeil was like, hey, that's it. We're going to go out there for like 2 series, maybe a quarter, and that's it. We threw the ball about, I'm going to say 15 times. He had no incompletions.
Mm.
I was like, I mean, that was big, man. Now understand this. You know how many people wait for their moment, and when they have it, they're not ready?
Right.
Like this dude was bagging groceries at a Hy-Vee, played in the Arena League, played in the World League, got cut by Green Bay, and now this moment is presenting itself, and he was ready for the moment.
Right.
You know how many people just kind of whatever. He was ready for the moment, and I knew in that game I was like, man, this could actually if this kid can play like this. I didn't know he was older than me at the time. If this kid can play like this, we're gonna be something special. And man, he rose to the occasion. He really did. And I just had to carry it for a little bit before I passed the torch. And I was like, you know, your quarterback got to be a leader. You're right. Like your quarterback, if you're a quarterback, you have to be the leader. And that's really it. That's I knew, man. I knew.
How fun was it though, man? Playing in that system. You had Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt, and you had Isaac King, you in the backfield, and you have a quarterback that can thread a needle, and then you had crazy Mike Martz. How fun was that? Just especially that first year.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was you know, it was God sent, man. You know, I'd struggled for a while. I felt like I was playing by myself. Didn't have a lot of options around me. Didn't feel like at times, and this was more me, not the reality of it. It's just how you feel sometimes. Mm-hmm. When I was with the coach, I just didn't feel like, because they were letting guys go. They weren't bringing in quality guys. I just felt like I was playing by myself. And now to be around these guys, man, and Torrey and Isaac, and it was amazing to see what they were doing. And I was just a part of a team. I wasn't the whole team.
Right.
And that was an awesome feeling. And so I took that, and we just, man, we made football what it is on the offensive side of the ball. As you watch football today, before that, if your quarterback threw the football more than 25 times a game, that's because you were losing.
Right.
For us, that was status quo. Now, if you look at football, if your quarterback do not throw the ball more than 25 times a game, you are losing.
Right. Right. And then with Mike Martz, man, he was able to put you in different spots. Like, I know you had to be happy because now you were really being utilized to the best of your ability, to your full strengths. How did that feel?
Oh, no, it was good. It was good. And listen, I had spent time with Ted Marshall-Broda, and I caught the ball a lot. I had spent time with Lenny Infante, and I caught the ball a lot. But Mike kind of took it to a whole nother level. He realized that he actually went back and started asking people, and he found out that I actually played wide receiver in high school.
Mm.
So lining me up at wide receiver was like, I mean, I saw myself as a wideout when I played wideout. I ran routes with the receivers for conditioning. And it was easy. And once he saw it, he was like, oh my God, this is going to be fun. The fact that we can remain in regular personnel and yet exploit them as if we're in 3 wide receivers.
Right.
This is unbelievable.
Right. Yeah, that was crazy. So, of course, you all go down, greatest show on turf. I think still the best offense ever. But the Super Bowl, the Kansas City Chiefs, they won the Super Bowl this past year and got a chance to talk to Tyreek Hill. And this is after the Super Bowl. I asked him like during the media week or media night about you all, comparing you all. And he was like, man, I really think we the fastest team, so on, whatever. Talk to you, I think that Tuesday, and you were like, hey, as good as he feels like that. He's like, but he has to win it. So after they won, I got a chance to ask him about that. This is what he said. Tariq, you told me Monday that you thought you were better than the St. Louis Rams, faster and a better offense. Does this win tonight solidify that?
Yeah. I'm always say, man, my wide-out group, our wide-out group, the Kansas City Chiefs wide-out group, the best wide-out group ever, man, ever. So you do it all.
So you hear him say that, and of course he's supposed to feel good. I mean, they just won. Their offense is explosive. But your offense, your wide receiver versus the Chiefs wide receiver. Come on, Marshall. Talk to me.
I'm not going to, I can't placate into what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
I love football, and I know a lot about a lot when it comes to football. So for me to say Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, Oz Hakeem, Ricky Pro, that group is the best. I understand what came before them. Like I know what Jerry Rice, John Taylor. I know Lynn Swan and Stallworth, Lewis Lips. Like I understand Randy Moss, Chris Carter, Jake Reed. Like I'm going back in history and I'm talking about lineage. I understand the Three Amigos. I understand the Fun Bunch. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I know what I'm talking about in a sense. Now, if you want to rattle off some names and say some history and not just talk about the guys he played with because he played with them, like I watch football. I'm a football fan. This is what I love football. I don't. This isn't. Oh, because I played with them. No.
Right.
No. I'm talking about real stuff.
Right.
you know, like this is not just because we're fast. No.
Right.
I'm talking about guys that the teams that I just talked about, you put them in any era and they're gonna flourish. Now, if you back the guys up that he's talking about into an era, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea. I mean, I didn't see them going up against a Deion Sanders, a Rod Woodson, a Ed Reed. I didn't see any of them out there. I know how many Hall of Famers I played against. I know the guys in the secondary that I played against. You know, there wasn't no Brian Dawkins out there. I didn't see them.
Right.
I'm just telling you.
Right. And speaking of that, what defense did you? I won't say hate to play, but you knew like, all right, y'all, it's gonna be a tough game tonight. It's gonna be big. You know, I got to bring my pads and everything, get my sleep. What defense or even player did you play against that made you, you know, feel like that?
Yeah, the player and the defense, it was constant for us because he was so disruptive, and it was Tampa Bay and Warren Sapp. I mean, that was like, you know, it just the dude was disruptive. He was a tyrant to us, and that defense, him, Brooks, Lynch, Barber, you know. Just a bunch of bad dudes, man. That was coming to disrupt your day, cause a lot of chaos, you know. And it was like, you know, there was games where you can make people miss. You could do it, you know. That was one of the games where I just buckled it up, like, you know, I'm gonna dish it out and I'm gonna take some.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. You knew that in those games, and I had to let them know I was willing to take it.
Right. And you speak of the Buccaneers. We know Tom Brady just went there.
Yeah.
Is that the team to beat right now, at least on paper, or is it? Let's see first, because you know.
I think for us to say that, it's just, you know, I mean, that's all they are is on paper.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Bruce. I think Arians is, you know, that's Arians and Brady. I mean, that's an awesome combination. You know, but let's just I wanna give the rest of the league their due.
Right.
And allow that to whatever that is to mature into what it is.
Right.
So,
is there a team that you like?
And let me do this. Let me respect the Kansas City Chiefs, because their nucleus is still intact. You know, to be the best, you got to beat the best.
Mm-hmm. Any threats towards the Kansas City you think this year?
Oh yeah, I mean they're the target now. You know, and if I don't know how many guys on that team they've ever been a front runner. You know, if you've never been a front runner, then you're about to be you're going to see something different. Everything that you did last year, and everything that Andy Reid has ever done in his life as far as a coach will be on display. No tricks, no trick. I mean, every game is like a mini Super Bowl for every team that you play.
Right. Right. And so they're saying that, you know, with this COVID situation, that it could be where they play without any fans, man. Could you imagine?
That's going to be funny.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, could you imagine playing without fans?
I can't, man. I can't. That's a tough one.
Yeah, I can't see it either. And, you know, I'm media, so it's like I just can't even picture
what that going to be like, right?
Yeah. And last question, man, before I let you go, I have to ask you about the situation with the Rooney Rule. You know, they upped it, and then that proposal they came up with the you get rewarded. I think they set it aside, but you know, they were saying you get rewarded if you do hire a minority coach, and you get this much if you hire a minority general manager. Your thoughts on that?
So you get a bonus?
So what it was is, yeah.
So you get a bonus?
Right.
Wait, you get a bonus if you hire a black?
Yep. What did they say? They were saying that you would get six. You would move, I think, 6 spots up in the third round if you hired a black coach or a minority coach. We know, and then in the if you hire a general manager, I think it was like 10, something like that.
All right. So if you hire a black, you move to the front of the line, is what they're telling you.
Right.
Okay.
You get rewarded if you hire one of us.
Okay. That's advancing us.
And we talked about that, man, on our radio show. And I got a shout out, the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. But we talked about that, and that was our thing. Like, okay, I know they said they're trying, but what I don't understand is how do you come up with something crazy like that? But then too, the owners that don't want to hire them, they're the ones that got to vote on this. So you feel me?
Yep.
You feel me?
Yep.
We're gonna
you know our owners.
Right. Yeah, we're gonna leave it like that. Marshall, man.
Just think about it. They're our owners.
They're our owners, right? Our owners.
Who? I mean, there's only a few people in the history of our country whom have been called owners.
Yeah, and that's what it is, bro. That's what it is. So I'm gonna ask. I got one of your biggest fans. Always last before I go, I always ask. Let one of the commentators, the people that's watching, ask a question. And I got one, probably one of the biggest fans ever. Wynell Goodwin asks, "Man in a Warner, was there one that you enjoy playing with most, or could you just speak about just the comparisons of both players? You know, the different or the similarities."
Yeah, so I'm gonna say that only because I got to play more years with Kurt that I enjoy playing with Kurt more, but playing with both of them to see, you know, the cerebral effort that they put in to win. Mm-hmm. And they both, the sacrifices that they made off the field, definitely, but Kurt on the field in the sense that, you know, Peyton wouldn't take you wouldn't get into him.
Right.
But Kurt had that mentality that he was going to take the hit to deliver the ball down the field. And that was his sacrifice. That was his I'm a football player moments. And he wanted us to know that he was tough like that. So, you know, man, those two guys are I had the most fun playing when I played with them because they literally pushed and challenged me to be better than I was, you know, because they elevated my game.
Well, there y'all have it. My guy, Mr. Marshall Faulk, man, this was fun. Hopefully we could do it again. This is the third time I got a chance to talk to you, man, and so this has been cool. Hey, y'all, make sure y'all follow the 3-Point Conversion. Also, check out Drug Free World. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and
drugfreeworld.org.
Yeah, I'm about to put it on right now so they'll be
don't know that now you know
to see it. There you go at the ticker, whatever. Yeah, y'all check that out, and of course check my guy Marshall Faulk. Go look at some highlights, man. Y'all want to see what a running back is? He scolded. I'm gonna say this, Marshall. He scolded me, and I didn't even get a chance to finish, but he scolded me on Radio Road when I was saying top. You know, he definitely top 3 of all. He was like, look, so why? So it's Barry. So why can't be number 1? And I was laughing, but you know what, Marshall? Like I feel you, man. Like I've always said, you know, and Barry's my favorite all the time. You know, I love Barry Sanders, but always argue a running back that could do it all: block, you know, run, of course, catch, run routes, and we're not just talking screen passes or swing plays. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe the smartest player, probably the smartest player that ever played. So it's an honor, man, talking to you. And look, y'all never know who I'm going to be with next. Y'all stay tuned and keep following us. Marshall, don't go nowhere, okay? I got to talk to you for a quick second. All right, I'll holler at y'all. Peace.